Raleigh, North Carolina was just crowned #1 for economic growth among all major and minor US metros. If you didn't know, we are one of the fastest growing cities in the US right now. We have been for the past few years, and if you've been considering a move to Raleigh, then you're definitely going to want to know this about our economy. Now, I'm not just out here making a bold claim. The Milken Institute is a well-regarded research company that releases an annual report where they analyze a bunch of data and basically tell us what are the top performing cities in terms of their economic outlook. And out of 402 major and minor US metros, Raleigh topped all of them with a 15.5 increase in jobs just this year alone. Now, the data scientists at Milken are very smart, and I'm not going to pretend to understand everything that they do. You don't have to either, but they basically found a way to take 13 key metrics and combine it all into one convenient benchmark, which they use to compare all the US cities. Mainly, they're looking at, are there jobs? How's the unemployment rates? Are high-tech companies moving into the area? And other indicators that tell us that a market is healthy. Now, this was the first time that Raleigh made it onto the #1 spot on the list, which is no easy feat. But it's actually been in the top 3 the past 2 years. Last year it was #2, losing out only to Austin, Texas. Of course, that city has grown a ton, and I actually get a lot of people comparing Austin versus Texas, which is why I made a video with a detailed comparison between the two, and I'm going to link that in the description so you can check that out after you watch this video. And most of this is driven by the Research Triangle Park. So we are called the Research Triangle region, and we are home to the nation's largest research park. So we get a lot of Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies putting headquarters here. So think Lenovo and Microsoft and IBM and soon to be Apple. And so the Research Triangle is driving a lot of job opportunities, and it's bringing a lot of high income earners and businesses into the triangle. And with that much attention from these big companies, we're getting a lot of high income earners coming into the Research Triangle because they want these coveted jobs and they want to be where all the tech companies are. So this list just confirms what I know to be true and you might have seen in some of your research. And this has been happening for some time. In fact, we've been in the running over the past 5 years, and in the past 2 years, we've been in the top 3. Now, if you're thinking about relocating to the Triangle, taking advantage of our awesome job market, well then here are some places that you might want to check out if you're looking for a place to buy a home that has a short commute into RTP. My first pick would be Morrisville. If you look on the map, you'll see that Morrisville is just minutes away from Research Triangle. At that rate, you could practically walk to your job. And naturally, Morrisville is going to appeal most to working professionals who care most about having a short commute. They've done the whole traffic scene. They don't want to do that anymore. And you'll find that Morrisville is extremely central to the Triangle, about as central as you can get. So you have close proximity to everything. You're 15 minutes from downtown Raleigh, about 15 minutes from downtown Durham. You can hop over into Chapel Hill. I mean, pretty much anywhere you want to go. You're also about 5-10 minutes from the airport too. If you do a lot of flying in and out for your job, then you definitely would like living in Morrisville. Now you just need to be careful about air traffic noise. Median household incomes in Morrisville are definitely higher than the national average of $75,000. On average, a Morrisville family earns about $125,000. So significantly higher, but it makes sense because most of the jobs that are in RTP are naturally high paying. Now, if you're looking online at houses for sale in Morrisville, you might not find a lot. It's actually a very small suburb in and of itself, but you'll find that townhomes typically start in the 4s and 5s, and single family houses are typically going to be low 5s all the way up to 7 and above, with some new construction, although it's getting increasingly harder to find. The homes and lot sizes in general are going to be a little bit smaller in Morrisville, and it's going to be a lot higher density, naturally being close to RTP, and they're trying to further increase that density over the next few years as they build off on what little land is remaining. And you'd find a completely opposite experience in Cary, which is the next spot that I'd recommend you check out. And you've probably already come across this suburb quite a bit in your research. I've made videos about Cary here on the channel. The typical household in Cary earns about $125,000 as well, so the same median income here. Your commute's a little bit longer, so it's about 15 to 20 minutes depending on what part of Cary you're in. Now, if you look on the map, Cary is actually our largest suburb here in the Triangle. It really is a city of its own, and it's gonna have its own unique feel. And a lot of people love Cary because it has really great schools. It's still close to everything. It's a little bit closer to downtown Raleigh as well. Moreover, Cary will have a little bit more of a family-friendly feel compared to Mooresville. So a little more relaxed pace of lifestyle here in Cary. You're gonna see more parks, more shopping and dining. You're gonna have access to Costco and plenty of master plan communities. Now, the thing about Cary is that pretty much all of it was built out about 10, 20 years ago. There's very little land left. There's mainly established older neighborhoods in Cary that are nice, and they have HOA amenities and trails and greenways and parks and, you know, all the shopping and dining that you could ever want. But if you want new construction, that's gonna cost you quite a pretty penny. On the very older and smaller side, you could find a single family home in Cary in the upper 3s to low 4s, but realistically, the townhomes in Cary usually start around the 400K price range, and your single family houses on average cost around 600,000. I'd also recommend that you check out Briar Creek up on the northwest side of Raleigh. So Briar Creek is the closest that you can get to the airport on the north side, and it's also still about 10-15 minutes from RTP. It has the Briar Creek Commons, which has all the shopping and dining that you could want, especially the big box stores like your Target. It's gonna have your Panera Bread, your Olive Garden. And the big sell of Briar Creek is the Briar Creek Country Club. So you can find townhomes and single family houses in a resort style community with a pool and a golf course and all that kind of fun stuff. Your single family houses at this point are starting in the 700s, and they can go up from there. But you can find townhomes in and around Briar Creek in the upper 3s and the lower 4s. And if you really want new construction with a reasonable commute to RTP, at this point with home prices and the availability of land, you do need to go into Durham. Just past Briar Creek, you'll enter into Durham County. So we're dealing with different schools and different taxes, but there's a lot more land to go around. And so quite a few new construction communities are popping up where you can find a home in the upper 4s and lower 5s to start, brand new. Durham is also your best bet if you want a brand new or relatively new townhome and you want to get it in the low 4s. Whatever your needs are, one thing's for sure, this economy is growing really fast, and chances are we have a job and we have a home for you. If you and your family are thinking about relocating to the Raleigh area, call the number at the bottom of the screen or just click that free consultation link in the description. Set up a time to chat with me and my team. If you want to learn more about our jobs and about our cost of living, then make sure you watch one of these videos next. I'm Benjamin Carver. I'll see you there.